On March 1, 2025, Andrew Cuomo, the former governor of New York, sent shockwaves through the political landscape. He announced his candidacy for mayor of New York City. His announcement, delivered via a carefully crafted video message, struck a chord of urgency. Cuomo painted a picture of a city grappling with a multitude of crises. He spoke of rising crime rates, a faltering economy, and a loss of faith in leadership. Cuomo's message was clear. New York City needed a firm hand at the helm. He positioned himself as the experienced leader the city desperately needed. He pointed to his track record as governor. He highlighted his handling of Hurricane Sandy and the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. Cuomo's message resonated with some, particularly those nostalgic for his decisive leadership style. However, his entry into the race was met with mixed reactions. For some, it was a welcome return of a seasoned politician. For others, it was a reminder of the scandals that forced his resignation. Cuomo's return to the political arena immediately injected a dose of volatility into an already unpredictable mayoral race. The question on everyone's mind: could Cuomo reclaim his political fortunes and lead the city he once governed? Cuomo's campaign launch was carefully orchestrated. He chose to bypass traditional media outlets, opting instead for a direct-to-voter approach. His video message, shared on social media platforms, garnered millions of views within hours. The message was simple, yet powerful. Cuomo was back, and he was ready to lead New York City out of the darkness. Cuomo's return to the political spotlight is shadowed by the circumstances of his resignation. In August 2021, he stepped down as governor amidst a cloud of controversy. Multiple allegations of sexual harassment from former aides and state employees had engulfed his administration. The accusations, detailed in a damning report by the New York State Attorney General's office, painted a picture of a toxic workplace environment. Cuomo, while denying the allegations of harassment, ultimately succumbed to mounting pressure. He resigned, albeit reluctantly, stating that he did not want to be a distraction as the state grappled with the ongoing pandemic. His resignation marked a stunning fall from grace for a man who had, just a year prior, been hailed as a national hero for his handling of the COVID-19 crisis. Despite his departure from office, the controversies surrounding Cuomo did not disappear. The Justice Department launched its own investigation into the sexual harassment allegations. The handling of COVID-19 deaths in nursing homes under his watch also came under intense scrutiny. These investigations cast a long shadow over Cuomo's legacy, raising questions about his judgment and integrity. Cuomo's return to public life has reopened old wounds. His critics, including some of the women who accused him of harassment, have been vocal in their opposition to his candidacy. They argue that his return to power would be a betrayal of the progress made in the fight against sexual harassment in the workplace. Cuomo's candidacy has reignited the debate about accountability and forgiveness in the face of serious allegations. Cuomo's entry into the New York City mayoral race instantly reshaped the political landscape. The Democratic primary, already crowded with contenders, now faces a formidable new challenge. Incumbent Mayor Eric Adams, facing his own set of controversies and a federal investigation, must now contend with a well-known and experienced opponent. Among the other Democratic hopefuls are several seasoned politicians with their own bases of support. Comptroller Brad Lander, known for his progressive policies, had garnered significant support from the left-leaning wing of the party. State Senator Jessica Ramos, a rising star in the party, had built a reputation as a fierce advocate for working-class New Yorkers. Former City Comptroller Scott Stringer, seeking a political comeback after his own brush with scandal, hoped to capitalize on his experience and name recognition. Cuomo's entry into the race has forced these candidates to recalibrate their strategies. They must now find ways to differentiate themselves not only from each other, but also from a political heavyweight with a long history in New York politics. The race, already shaping up to be a close contest, has now become even more unpredictable. The dynamics of the race are further complicated by the city's unique political landscape. New York City is a deeply Democratic city, meaning that the winner of the Democratic primary is highly likely to win the general election. This reality places even greater importance on the primary, turning it into a battle for the soul of the Democratic Party. Cuomo's return to politics has drawn a clear line in the sand. Both supporters and detractors have come out in full force, highlighting the deep divisions his candidacy has exposed. Congressman Richie Torres, a rising star in the Democratic Party, offered a high-profile endorsement, praising Cuomo's competence and leadership during challenging times. A new political action committee, aptly named Fix the City, has emerged with the sole purpose of bolstering Cuomo's campaign. The PAC, backed by wealthy donors and powerful unions, aims to raise a staggering $15 million to support his bid for mayor. This influx of financial resources could prove invaluable in a crowded and expensive race. However, Cuomo's candidacy has also been met with fierce opposition. Former aide Karen Hinton, who accused Cuomo of harassment, has been a vocal critic of his return to public life. She, along with other women who have come forward with allegations, argue that his candidacy sends a dangerous message that those in power are above accountability. Assemblymember Zohran Mamdani, a progressive voice in the state legislature, has also emerged as a vocal opponent. He argues that Cuomo's record on issues such as housing, criminal justice, and economic inequality disqualifies him from holding public office. The battle lines are drawn, setting the stage for a contentious and potentially divisive election cycle. Section 5. Experience is a double-edged sword. Cuomo's record under scrutiny. Andrew Cuomo's legacy, despite the controversies, continues to cast a long shadow over New York's political landscape. His tenure was marked by significant achievements, as well as notable failures. The question remains, how will history remember him? Will his accomplishments outweigh the scandals? As Cuomo contemplates a return, one must ask, can his familiarity with voters overcome the controversies that led to his resignation? Voters have a long memory, but they also crave stability and experience. Is it possible that Cuomo's deep-rooted connections and political acumen could pave the way for a comeback? Public sentiment is a crucial factor in any political campaign. Recent polls show a divided electorate. While some New Yorkers are ready to move on, others believe Cuomo still has much to offer. The challenge lies in bridging this gap and understanding the true pulse of the people. Politics is often unpredictable, and Cuomo's potential return is no exception. The landscape is constantly shifting, with new developments emerging every day. What will the future hold for Andrew Cuomo? Only time will tell if he can navigate the complexities and reclaim his place in New York's political arena.